Welcome back to METSNETSJETSD podcast coming to you July 7th, 2020 on a Tuesday. Like I told you before, we're going to dig deep into this UFC 251 Usman against Jorge Masvidal. As you can see, they updated the poster. They just faded out Gilbert Burns and put in cut and paste Masvidal. Looks good. It was a simple job, but this was the fight that was supposed to happen in the first place. Money wasn't right, and now, unfortunately, Gilbert Burns got COVID-19, and Masvidal became the hero in this situation. Didn't totally get the money he was asking for, but definitely got close to his number. So it's pretty much a win-win for him. He gets to save the main fight, the main event of the whole card. Comes in, and if he wins, he beats the champion on 6 days' notice. Like, you can't ask for much. And then he has total control of whatever he wants, his next fight, whatever he wants. You know, the street Jesus Masvidal gets to control his own destiny if he handles business against Usman. But that's going to be, I'll probably go over that tomorrow. That's the main card. Today we're going to be going over the prelims. Shockingly, in this card, we got 8 prelim fights. Okay, we got 1, 2, all the way up to Volkan against Jiri. 8 prelim fights. That's a lot of fights to go through. I'm going to try to do it in a quick order and still give you what I feel like who should win, okay? Starting off with the first prelim, we have Martin Day going up against Davy Grant. Martin Day has good striking. Let this load up a little bit before I get into the breakdown totally. Martin Day is the favorite right now, but he has less experience in the UFC besides Davy Grant. He has 5 UFC fights. Martin Day is taller and has more reach. All right, so that's going to lend to Martin Day's striking, which is better since he knows Taekwondo and his grappling is pretty good. He's so well-rounded and a better boxer. You can definitely see him take out Davy Grant like he took out Jaime Alvarez in that fight that Martin Day had. He's kind of resembling Youssef Zalal that I've seen the past fight cards. Martin Day. He's got that 1-2, and then he moves and he keeps coming in and out. I like his striking. I like the fact that he does have grappling, because Davy Grant, on the other hand, is an okay wrestler, very poor with the stand-up, but getting better. But the only way I see him winning this fight is taking Martin Day to the ground, and I don't think that's enough. I think Martin Day is too well-rounded. He trains with Max Holloway, who's on this card, and who's one of the greatest fighters in his weight class. I think it's too much for Davy Grant, who's very in the UFC. Martin Day lost his first match in China when they did UFC China, but I think this is an opportunity to bounce back and get a W on his record in UFC. Okay. Next fight, we have bantamweight women's prelim against Vanessa Melo going up against Carol Rosa. All right. Carol Rosa, I like her. But before I get to her, Melo, she's walks down opponent, throws a barrage of punches, strong in the clinch, good boxing skills. She'll take a shot, but she'll definitely give one back. She's currently on a 2-fight losing streak, as you can see right there. That's why she's 10-7. So she's not that great of a fighter, and this is why Carol Rosa, who's coming in, good boxing, coming off a decision win, has BJJ in her back pocket, and I think she's just going to overwhelm Vanessa Melo in this bout. Clearly, she doesn't have as much UFC experience, but you can see Melo can't handle the UFC bantamweight fighters that she's going up against. I think Carol Rosa comes in She's a favorite for a reason, and I think she handles Vanessa Mello pretty easily in this bout. All right, that's too many things to offer. The younger fighter, fresher fighter, give me Carol Rosa in this fight. Next, this one I really, really like. Exciting fight. We got Zhalgas Zhumagulov going up against Rulian Pava. Hope I said his name right, but Kazakhstan going up against Brazil right here. Zhalgas, very exciting fighter. Devastating leg kicks. I'm going to show you a video very soon. Good timing with takedowns. Throws high knees. Has faced tougher opponents overseas. This guy just has freaking everything. He's like a little Mighty Mouse with power. You see the leg kicks right there. Throws the overhand rights. Comes back with the left. He's just very quick, and he stays on you, and those leg kicks are devastating. Like I said, he TKs Owen. He knocks him out with a leg kick. Point blank period. Has power in his right hand. I think he's definitely something to worry about. This is going to be his first UFC fight. Going up against Rulian Pava. Let's see. Has knockout power. Well-rounded, good jiu-jitsu, but doesn't take down much. Only uses it if he needs it as a defense mechanism. So I'm not really too worried about him taking Zhalgas to the ground. And if this is a stand-up fight, I'm liking what Zhalgas provides. So far with Pava in his UFC career, he is 1-2. And it's not really that impressive. It really isn't. Kekar France, obviously you're going to lose against that one. Then he could have won against Bontarin. And then, shockingly, he won against Mark De La Rosa. It's not impressing. I'm definitely willing to take this underdog right now. That's how these cards tend to go. A lot of these underdogs are coming out of nowhere and winning. And this is going to be my first underdog that I'm going to choose. Zako Zhumagulov. I like him over Rulian in this bout. All right, and then we're moving on. And it's a lean. It's not a hard, because it's an underdog, it's not a hard. Yes, definitely going to have him in every one of my parlays or one-offs. These first couple bouts are iffy. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 actually are very iffy. Coming after that with 5, 6, 7, and 8, I'm clearly on one side, and they definitely should win. But Martin Day, I like him. Carroll should handle business. Zhalgas I like him as an underdog. Very dangerous against Rulian Pava. Going in this next bout, we have Marcin Tybura against Maxim Grissom. This is a very, very, very close bout. It's very even, minus 115 on each side. They got it on there for minus 112 on DraftKings, okay? Around the same age, Maxim Grissom has a lot of experience outside of the UFC. Both the same height. Tybura has more of a reach advantage with 2 inches, which is understandable. That's fine. Tybura is a very good grappler and wrestler. Solid chin that you've seen against Derek Lewis, but Derek Lewis throws like bombs. So eventually it got to him and he got knocked out. But he definitely does have a solid chin. Has okay stand-up, but he typically just throws an oblique kick and keeps it moving, Marcin Tybura. He doesn't really offer enough for me. Grissom, on the other hand, poor takedown defense. Good grappler. Loves to throw calf kicks and follow him up with powerful right hands. Definitely has knockout power. The thing here, Grissom's going to have to add some weight because this is going to be a heavyweight fight. He is typically at 205, as you can see right here. He's going to have to bump that up to like 240, around to Tybura's weight. So hopefully he can handle that jump in weight and put on some muscle. But this match is very iffy. I didn't really have a strong feeling on either or. Tybura needs it to go to the ground. And like I said, Grissom has bad takedown defense, but the power he provides in his stand-up is something that lends me to like him more. I can come back to this. I don't really have a definite answer. So far, right now, if it goes to the ground, I'm taking Tabora. So I'll lean for Tabora for right now. But this is something I probably won't bet on or add in the parlay because this fight right here between these two guys is such a toss-up. I don't have a definite answer, but there's freaking 13 fights. You don't have to choose each and every one of them. You probably throw a little bit of money on this by itself and let it be, but this is not going to be in one of your main parlays. Minus 112 is a very nice number. If you add it in one of your parlays, it will give you a nice advantage, especially with some of the later fights. They're huge favorites. Like Amanda is a minus 800 favorite. Nama Yunus is minus 200, minus 250. Usman 265. As you can see, that minus 12 can come in handy. But I'm going to, for right now, I'm leaning to Bor. Okay? Next fight. We have, oh man, I love this one. This one is super exciting. Leonardo Santos against Roman Bogotov. Two totally different age groups right here. Santos is a veteran. 40 years old. Has the height advantage. There's no reach on Bogotov, so I don't know that. But 75-inch reach for Santos, that's pretty long. And he has a master in jiu-jitsu, Leonardo Santos. His career doesn't make any sense at all. He's basically been fighting in the UFC since, let's go back. Since 2013. And he hasn't lost. This is the crazy thing. Like, if he was more consistent and didn't have that layoff with all the injuries after 2016, he had a bunch of injuries and had a 3-year layoff, came back and beat Stevie Ray. If he was more consistent, he would definitely have a title shot by now. But he's 40 years old, kind of past his prime, but he's going up against a guy that, in Roman Bogotov, this is his UFC debut, and he is a huge specialist in submission, Bogotov. But the competition that he's going up against, Bogotov, that's in M1, which is granted is a good league, is not UFC. And is not Leonardo Santos, who's been a jiu-jitsu practitioner all his life for all his life, 15 years. And he's faced top competition and he's won every fight in the UFC. Now you have Bogotov, who's a rookie in the UFC, just knows M1. I gotta go with the more well-rounded veteran. I have to. Leonardo Santos is just an absolute beast, and I think he keeps this winning streak going in the UFC, which is insane. If this was a fighter that was going up against Santos that was a better striker, then I might lean towards the younger fighter going up against Leonardo Santos. But you got a dude that doesn't have good stand-up and is just a good grappler. You're going up against someone that's a god in jiu-jitsu. Like, no, that's not gonna fly. He's been there, done that many a times. Give me Leonardo Santos in this fight. We're coming up on that one. We're coming up on that one very soon. Let me get back to the card so you can see. Oh, that's the next one. Perfect. Makwan Amirkhani against Danny Henry. This fight, all these are bang, 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 bang. These are bangers, each one. Okay, starting off with Leonardo Santos. I want to see his 40-year-old win this fight. And then Makwan Amirkhani against Danny Henry should definitely be a great featherweight bout. Let's see the measurables here. Both the same age. Finland, which doesn't make any sense. He doesn't look like that. But Amirkhani is a tad bit shorter, but has more reach. And Makwan has great takedown. Good artist, submission beast with guillotines and ankle locks. Improved stand-up to go with his ground game. And loves to throw flying knees. He's 5-2 in the UFC. And as you can see, this guy is well-rounded, is thrown around Shane. Look at Shane Burgos' eye. In this first round, he totally dominates Burgos. But the only problem with Makwan is that in this fight, he lost his gas tank. The amount of takedowns he did in that first round was like 13 against Burgos, and as you can see, he's dominating him. He definitely won that first round. He just didn't have enough in the second and third round, mostly the third round, because Burgos, once he saw that Amarikani was gassed out, he started ripping him to the body, and you know how Burgos is. He goes one to the bottom and one to the top. And he'll keep going back and forth with that. And he'll stay in your face, keeps his arms low, and he'll just attack you. But I think the wrestling background of Amarikani is going to be enough against Danny Henry. Henry is another submission artist. This could be like a fight like we saw last card was Dauskas versus Brendan Allen last week. Henry has some good leg kicks, but I think it's too much. Amarikani has with the stand-up, with his grappling, and Danny Henry doesn't have an answer for that stand-up at all. And give me the favorite. That's why he's a minus 200 favorite, Makwan Amarikani. Mr. Finland, which I really don't understand how he's from Finland. But give me Makwan in that fight. We're moving on. We have Zaleski dos Santos. I'm not even going to try to say his first name. He's an absolute monster. Going up against Muslim Salikov. Now, this guy is a huge fan favorite just because of his last fight that he did a spinning back kick. Both of these guys have spinning attacks. This is going to be an insane fight. Could be fight of the night. Which would be crazy because you got Masvidal against Kamaru Usman later. But these two guys are going to absolutely destroy themselves. Absolutely destroy themselves. This guy, I don't know how he's Russian and is the king of Kung Fu, but he is very, very dangerous. Muslim Salikov. I think Zaleski is just a bigger, better monster. Zaleski's record is better. He's 8-2 in the UFC. Muslim right now is he's 3-1 currently. It's just the talent that Zaleski has faced is better. 22-6. He's got jiu-jitsu in his background. He has elite stand-up. Came off of an iffy loss against Jin Liang Lee, which is understandable, but other than that, he had a 7-fight win streak. Beat Akhmedov, beat Nakamura, beat Lyman Good, who's a freaking huge power puncher. Max Griffin, Sean Strickland, which was an insane knockout with a spinning hook kick. Like I said, they both have spinning attacks, which is going to be crazy. And he finally got a loss, understandable. Came back against Kunchenko, and now is going up against Salikov, who's a huge fan favorite. Give me the underdog in this fight. Give me Zaleski in this bout. Let me go to back one more. And we're going to check DraftKings. Like I said, you can get Dos Santos at plus 100. Those are great odds. Money's still coming in on Zalikov because like their fans are going off that last fight and how he finished his dude with the spinning back kick. But they're forgetting how underrated Dos Santos is, and he's just as dangerous. I don't understand the hate, and this is definitely a fight we can take advantage of because the public has it wrong. People are just coming in trying to put money on a pay-per-view fight just to put money on a fight. And they're going to look at the highlights and be like, oh my God, look what he did. But they don't know that Dos Santos has a track record of dominance. And clearly, I'm taking the veteran and more experienced fighter, Dos Santos, over Salikov. All right? And we're moving fast. This is the final prelim fight against Volkan Odizmir going up against Ziri Prochkov. I hope I said that right. Now, this fight is similar situation to the last, where there's a lot of fan favorite for Jiri, but he's still an underdog at minus 140 right now. Let's see, they got plus 140. Okay, same thing that they have on DraftKings. But this guy Jiri is freaking huge. He fought in Ryzen, I believe so. Yeah, he fought in Ryzen. He's 6'4", huge, huge guy. Understandable. He has a 10-win fight streak, but this is not in the UFC. Okay, he's beaten dudes that were good at the time, but they've fallen off. Muhammad Lawal, he lost to him and then beat him again. Well, finally got the revenge win in 2019. But in this fight, Volkan, not afraid to come forward, has fought top competition time and time again. When I looked at Volkan Odemwinger's freaking record and the fights that he's had, I was appalled. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Came into the UFC, beat St. Preux, beat Manawa, then had a title fight because he won 3 in a row. Lost to Daniel Cormier. That's one of the greatest heavyweight fighters ever. One of the greatest fighters, period. He only has like 1 loss. 2 losses, if that, Daniel Cormier. Then almost had Anthony Smith. Not really. He kind of dominated him. Anthony Smith is a very good fighter. That's okay. I'll take that loss. Dominic Reyes was a controversial split decision. He should have won that fight. And then he bounced back against Latifi and Rakic. Okay? Just Cormier, Dominic Reyes, and Anthony Smith alone, those 3 top-tier guys blows any fight that Jiri had. Period. I'm taking the well-experienced UFC fighter. Give me Volkan Ozdemir, and I don't want to say he knocks him out in the second round, because that Volkan has huge, huge power. He is not afraid to bring the fight to you. He stays in your face. That's why his nickname is No Time, because he got no time to waste. He's in there. He's trying to get in and out and get to the bag. All right. Definitely love Volkan Ozdemir in this fight, and that's all the prelim fights. Let me see how many underdogs I got. I got Zalgas as an underdog. The Marcin Tybura fight and Maxim Grishin is pretty much even. It could change later, so you might get an underdog closer to Saturday. You never know. Makwan, was he an underdog? I don't believe he was. Makwan was a favorite. Underdog was Dos Santos, and we got another favorite, Ozdemir. So I think I got 2 underdogs so far. 2 underdogs in the prelims. All right. So that was the prelim picks for UFC 251. I will be back tomorrow, and we'll really get to the meat and potatoes of this main card. We got 3 title fights in this main card, which is absolutely insane. This is why Dana White saved these bouts for Abu Dhabi. Perfect situation, perfect card, and he gets the perfect final match with Kamaru Usman going up against Jorge Masvidal. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at METSNETSJETSD. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow, and peace out.